there is this one guy he's a total sociopath. He slid into my DMs last year, and he's some minor league baseball player.
Oh no.
Not great looking, but thinks he is. And he basically was just saying, "Hey, let's fuck. I don't date women because you're all hags."
He's going with that approach. Right.
But what was interesting was I saw a girl on Facebook, because it was through Facebook that he messaged me, and I'm not on there that much, just so you guys know I'm cool. But this girl online posted a screenshot. He said the exact same thing to her, and I went, "Oh my God, he said the same thing to me."
He's just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
that's his gimmick.
line.
Right.
So we had a full back and forth, and I'm not feministy, and I'm just like, women are annoying. Like, I'm not. So I'm not playing up the angle of like, how dare you? But it was like, this isn't going to work, bro. Like, and I tried to take him through that, and he was like, either fuck off or fuck me. Like, he literally, that's what he's saying.
Holy shit. It's a strategy of numbers. He's playing a numbers game.
He was playing a numbers game.
If I throw it out there like a fucking spray and pray machine gun, maybe I'll hit somebody.
Yeah, and we kind of discussed that. And so he basically was like, yeah, that's what I do. So that was last year. So 2 days ago, all of a sudden I get a message from him, "Hey." And I just wrote back, "Really? Like, really? You think it's going to work this time? My mom died.
Now it's going to work.
Now it's going to work. The hey.
So, have you thought about it?
And when I said, "Really?" ? He just sent back a question mark. So I don't know if he's unaware, if he's a lunatic.
Lessons. He definitely needs some banter.
I tried to sell him a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, my sessions, they're on a discount at the moment.
Yeah, how about you? But then you take some of my sessions, some of my 7-inch session. What a tool.
Yeah.
Well, that is kind of, and I'm sure you see it with what you do, sort of, dating counseling. People that just have this unbelievably bad approach.
Horrible. There's no self-awareness.
And like, you're not going to... I used to drive around with my friends back when I was in high school.
In the van.
Whoever had... Well, it wasn't a van at that time. It was a Chevy Nova.
Ooh.
Thank you very much. And we'd drive around in this thing, case of beer on the floor, 4 guys in here drinking, actually thinking some way there would be 4 girls that were looking for a carload of loser teens drunk in a shitty car to hook up with.
Yeah.
And we would just continuously do this on weekends, thinking, that crazy thing of thinking you're going to get a different result.
Yeah.
But like, I grew up and realized that wasn't happening. It seems like there are some guys that just never get past that point of bad strategies.
No, they don't. I basically say if you end up with a pizza that night, you're gonna. That's great. Like, that's gonna be your. That's the place to aim for some of these guys. It's just like, I was able to grab pizza, not an ass, just pizza.
Right.
And the thing is with the guys that actually come to me is that it's weird because there's a lack of self-awareness because they're bad at conversation and have no charisma or charm, but yet they're self-aware enough that they know they need to fix it. And so it's kind of, there's a little window of it's like you see this little light opening.
Yeah, for a second.
A little clam. It's just like opening just a crack, and that like loser light is shining out, and they're like, I see that I'm not the best, and I see it's not working. So they're open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
As you call it.
I could see somebody like that though going home, and when all is said and done, and they're alone at home after trying this fucking terrible strategy, any normal person would have to think like, maybe I just am a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm just not doing this right. But then again, the next day you're right back at it. So what do you say? Let's fuck it.
Yeah.
And I think it takes some bit of courage and maybe negative self-assessment to face the fact that maybe you're just not good at what you're doing and need to change it.
Yeah, and that puts me in honestly a really fun position.
Oh yeah.
And I don't use the word fun ever because I never have fun, except like right now.
I love how depressing you are.
I'm the worst. I'm really the worst.
I'm the worst.
But it is fun because I can tell them everything that's wrong with them.
Yeah.
and they're like, give it to me, and you're like whipping them, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, you're ugly. They're like, yeah, give me more. And
I'm
like,
terrible.
You're uncharismatic, and they're like, yeah. So I'm very gentle with the way that I do it, but I can really point out,
figuratively speaking.
yeah.
It's so funny because I think a lot of the people that are faux confident, they put out a faux confidence because there are confident people. The thing is, a confident person isn't out there reminding you how confident they are all the time.
Exactly.
It's a thing that pops up when it's needed. You can sense it in the way someone carries themselves or talks to people, but it's not this blatant like, hey, I'm confident. People that do that are amongst the most unconfident people on earth, and they're constantly second guessing what they're doing, making mistakes, and then I think trying their hardest to pass that blame on to someone else.
Yeah.
Because to face it is like, maybe I'm not that confident.
Yeah. Well, I actually teach, and it's weird to say I teach, but I teach self-deprecation because only confident people will self-deprecate and point out
Comics
their
are very
flaws.
good at that.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. So not that I'm like, working with all these guys who are Brad Pitt, but there are some guys that I do work with that they're successful and they've a lot going for themselves. And so they have this arrogance and they're just not hitting it with women the right way. So I talk about self-deprecating and bringing themselves down a peg because that's attractive. Right. If you can point out your flaws, then you clearly have confidence. And it's way more attractive
exactly
to have confidence without looking like you have confidence than it is being blatant about having confidence.
Self-deprecation also opens up the opportunity for the person you're with to have fun with that.
Yes.
Like they won't feel as uncomfortable maybe making a joke about you because you're kind of joking about yourself, which would be really odd if you're being self-deprecating and then she makes a little joke and you reach across and belt her in the fucking face.
Just knock her
out. How terrible would that be? What the fuck did you say?
That'd be amazing. Oh,
yeah, that would be hilarious.
So funny.